Hi, this is Jackie Rainforth, and welcome to the Badass Superstar Selling Show. Hey, you can click on subscribe and watch us on YouTube, LinkedIn, or Facebook. Welcome, everybody, to the Badass Superstar Selling Show. Today, we have got Helen Rose from The Gift of Being Present, and she's going to talk to us about personal disasters. Hey, we've all had them, right? What is a personal disaster, and how do we get through it? So talk to me, Helen. Tell me.
Oh, okay. So personal disaster can be anything for each individual person. It isn't scaled. It shouldn't be scaled. Unfortunately, we do scale it. But a personal disaster is when you thought you were going down one path, and all of a sudden something happened, whether it was at your hand, your decision, someone else's decision, just weird stuff in the universe that happened. And it's like everything that you thought you were doing you're essentially been thrown off your game.
Wow. Okay, so give us some examples.
Okay, so some good examples. The first one that comes to mind could be divorce.
Divorce. Oh, divorce is a big one.
It is
especially
a big one.
These days. I think there are a lot of people that are struggling with divorce, and that would most definitely knock you off your game, wouldn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Because what you thought was going is not there anymore. Right.
Broken dreams.
Broken dreams, and it could be loss of job. It could be
loss of job. Oh, that's another big one these days.
Big one
isn't
these
it?
days for sure.
Yeah.
The other one could be loss of your home through fire, through finances, through bankruptcy. Big one also.
Yes.
The death of a loved one, whether that's a parent or a child. A loss of a pet.
Oh, I have lost a pet before. That's like losing someone in the family. It really is. It is traumatic, and people think, they look at you sideways, but it is really traumatic.
Yeah.
Very traumatic.
It is, because you kind of wrap yourself in this comfort zone of what you like, and then when it's not there anymore, it is disastrous. That is a perfect word. It is a disaster, and we need to learn to make good personal use of our disasters.
Okay, so what is the commonality of all personal disasters, and what does Helen Rose do?
Oh my goodness. So the commonality of all disasters is it's thrown you off your game. What you thought is no longer. I had the perfect description from one of my clients who said it was like she turned a light off and she turned it back on and nothing was the same ever again.
Oh, that's great.
I thought it was a beautiful description of that.
Yes.
And so what I do, so I've had lots of personal disasters, like most people.
Like most people. I can tick off almost all those things on the list.
Yeah, that's right. Like when you start thinking about it, it's divorce / or breakup, or what you thought was going to be is no longer, or and especially in these times now when you think you're on your path and then something happens, a catastrophe, and now you're basically starting from square one again. Right.
Loss of job. I think loss of job is much bigger than most people realize.
Yeah.
People think, oh, well, you'll get another one and it's okay. No, it's not. It's loss of your identity. It's you feel like a failure. I mean, I can tell you all about it because I really struggled through that. I really did.
Yeah.
It was like, well, who is Jackie now? And it was awful. It was such a depressing time for me. It really was.
Yeah, it's really key to note that a lot of people identify who they are based on what they do.
Guilty.
Yeah, guilty. There's also that notion that if you aren't successful, whatever that means.
Yes.
Right? I mean, I think we have all that idea that we all should be, corporate, 6 figures a year, the big house with the Lexus and, all of that.
It's such a, sorry to interrupt, it's such a boomer mentality.
It totally
isn't
is.
it? It's totally, it's like 1980s on steroids, but that's the way we grew up.
Yeah.
That's what we were taught to believe.
But the key to that too is there's lots of people that get that and they're not happy.
Yes.
So that can be a very big personal disaster when it's like, oh my gosh, everything I've worked for is now here. I've brought it forth.
Yeah.
And I'm still missing something.
Oh. because money does not buy happiness.
No, it doesn't.
We all know that.
It doesn't.
Money does not buy happiness.
It does
wow.
not. It does not. If that were the case, everyone in Hollywood would have been married once and right?
Right.
Yeah.
Married once in Hollywood. That's it.
That's right.
It makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's, and so the key is to make the good use of the disaster. So that's what I do. I could have been very easily to sit in victim mode from all of the stuff that happened to me in my lifetime. But there just came a point where I was like, well, that's just ridiculous. And you know what? People get tired of you being a victim.
Yeah, I understand that. I mean, I know that when I go into a funk, and you know, I have gone into a funk. I went into a funk after I lost my job, that, you know, it was easier to just what I call turtle, right? You just turtle, you stay away, you don't want to talk to anybody because you don't want to bring that negativity into their world. You know that you're not fun, right? You know that you're not.
But you, and also not being fun, but you also feel like you're a failure. So who
guilty.
wants, like who wants to be, from like saying, if I'm the one that's had the loss, saying, well, who wants to be with me? I'm a big failure. And, who wants to be my friend? I'm a big failure. Or you're just feeling like garbage. So people don't want you to feel like garbage, but you need to feel like garbage.
Well,
to a certain degree.
You need to feel like garbage?
Well, no.
Well, you have to go through it, is what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying. You need to go through that mud of figuring it out, and a lot of it involves feeling like garbage. You feel like crap.
Right.
And so when other people around you, they're trying to make you feel better through good intentions.
Yes.
And you don't want to feel better. Sometimes you want to wallow in poo.
Well,
right?
Yeah. You want to sit on your couch, you want to lie on your couch and eat potato chips all day and just feel sorry for yourself. And that's okay.
It is okay. You need to honor that moment.
For a period of time.
Absolutely.
Where it becomes a problem, I assume, is when it goes on for too long.
Well, and this is the trick, is who gets to decide how long it is. And quite often you hear that when someone will say, aren't you over that yet? It's like, I'm still processing it.
Yeah, someone said to me, "Oh, just pull up your big girl panties and get over it." And I was
drives me crazy when
I
hear that.
I was devastated because it was such a big thing for me.
Statements like that diminish your emotional journey. When someone says, "Put on your big girl pants," or "Get over," or "Suck it up, princess," all of that kind of stuff, it's actually unbelievably callous.
Well, and I don't think the intention was there.
Never.
But
I agree.
it hurt. Yeah. It did hurt because, to me it was, and I guess it is, it's broken dreams, it's broken expectations. I've never, I never expected, I was a superstar. How in the world could I lose my job, right? Yeah. I was groomed as a child to do that, to be that. And who in the world would ever thought that, this would happen? So it did take me a lot longer than I thought to get over it. And, I didn't know there were people out there like you, Helen Rose, who would help find the path, help me find the path.
Yeah, and I think it's really important that when you're helping someone find the path, I hear it quite often and I say it all the time. I'm not going to wave a magic wand. I'm not going to blow fairy dust. I'm not going to tell you you're going to be okay, because guess what? I don't get to decide that. You get to decide that. But what I will do is I'll take your hand and let you walk through the mud and make sure you're okay. But you need to walk through it, because the other side of that is really where the power lies. Wow.
So that sounds fabulous. That is incredible. And I think what we'll do is we will end it right here. And please tell everybody, Helen Rose, where can we find you?
Helen Rose, www.thegiftofbeingpresent.com.
That's it, everybody. Helen Rose from thegiftofbeingpresent.com. And come back for our next segment. We're going to talk about some really great stuff. We're going to talk about grief, and we're going to talk about why you should be calling up Helen during your personal disaster. Absolutely.
That's right.
So we'll see you next session. Thanks for tuning in. That's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for joining us. Listen, if you want to subscribe, you can follow us on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. We have new content coming out every day. You don't want to miss it.